Hi, I'm Jeremy,
And I'm Dan.
and this is episode 14 of the One Eye Auto Talking Tune Show.
Welcome back.
Today, we are going to talk about the 10 reasons why the internet is the best tool for fixing your car. Alright, the first thing for today is installation videos. We have about 3,500 of them at this moment that we have created, and they are super valuable for anybody doing a car repair.
Right, yeah. Many of us grew up getting all of our repair information out of these small repair manuals that you pick up at the local parts store.
Right.
That in many cases left much to be desired when it came for instructions, or in some cases weren't even in there.
Right.
Some more obscure kind of repairs that you were working on.
Right. Obscure jobs are not going to be in those manuals. Like, I often do some weird things to cars that are not covered in any manual.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're not as accurate as you want them to be either.
Right. I mean, in some cases, these repair manuals would cover 10, 15 different vehicles over 20 years.
Right.
And anybody who's worked on cars long enough will know that, you know, they might make the same car for 10 years, but it's not always exactly the same. So along the way, little changes are made, little things that are...
Right.
So your repair manual may tell you there's a bolt in this spot, and
there hasn't been for 5 years.
Right.
Yeah, they're good guidelines, but they're not perfect. Where a video is often made by somebody who isn't trying to gain anything out of it. They're just trying to help other people with it.
Right.
So they're trying to be as specific as possible, and they're going to show you how to do it. Just hop on the internet. There's so many videos out there for any project you could ever imagine.
Yep.
Plus, it's great entertainment.
Right.
So,
yeah, you get to see them struggle in the way that you know you're going to as well too.
Right.
It always goes a little too easy and a little too well for those in those repair manuals.
yes.
It looks like a 10-minute job when in fact it turns out to be about an hour.
Right. Step 1 is like open your hood. Step 2, remove transmission.
Right.
And
No, it
you're like,
doesn't.
that doesn't work like that. Yeah. The other thing with installation videos is you can prepare your list of tools that you'll need before the job. So you can do as much preparation as possible and make the job go nice and easy.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like having to get halfway through a job and then run back to the toolbox and
Right.
go back, realize you got the wrong socket,
Yep.
go back again,
Yeah.
and repeat until you get everything there, or you have a pile of tools lying around you that you're going to trip
Right.
over on the way out from under the car.
Yeah. Or you realize that you don't have the 36 millimeter socket for your axle or something like that.
Yeah, there's nothing quite
Yeah.
like getting halfway through a job too and realizing you don't have the tool, and now your car is completely apart, and you either have to call in a friend or get on the bike and go for a ride.
Yes. The second one for today is forums. They are one of my favorite things on the internet. I've spent plenty of time there. We at 1A are on tons of forums,
Yep.
Helping out as many people as we can. But they're great for sharing all types of information.
Right, yeah. Forums are just an online group of people with similar interests that have come together to share that interest.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be modifications done to the cars, sharing knowledge about repairs,
Yeah.
issues they've run into.
Yeah. Frequently asked questions and how-tos.
Yep.
Plus, there's a good sense of community as well.
Right.
I mean, you get to meet a lot of people that have similar interests as you. And there's forums for every car you could ever imagine, from minivans to trucks
Yep.
and lowriders and...
Everybody loves a good build thread.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody likes to see, start to finish, upgrading a car, and everybody likes to share what they've run into along the way with that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. Plus, it allows you to show off your own build.
Yep.
I mean, if you're doing a bunch of work to your car and none of your family or close friends understand why the heck you're working on it every day and
Yep.
every night, it's great to take pictures of it or video of it and share it with people who would appreciate such great work.
Right, and everybody kind of picks up from that too. So you might
Yeah.
catch an idea that goes, "Ooh, I want to do that now too,"
Yeah.
or "Now I know what that looks like. I don't think I like that anymore."
Right. The third one on the list is Facebook groups.
Yep.
If you're not one for forums or forums are not your thing for whatever reason, Facebook has plenty of groups, and there's groups just like forums for just about every make and model out there.
Right, yeah, and it's similar kind of thing. It's a bunch of people coming together in a spot that everybody knows about. Facebook's really popular, and everybody has it.
Yeah. It has a lot of the same information. It's just on Facebook instead of a forum.
Yep.
But it's easy to connect with people because you can use Messenger and whatnot. We're on a forum. You have like a PM, but then you don't get a message to your email box, and sometimes that can be a delayed message. Where Facebook, everybody's got the Facebook app.
Yeah, you're a little more likely to see it a little quicker, and
yeah.
So another one is Diagnostic Codes. These days, you can pick up a scan tool for under $50, but your basic ones will really just give you a number, which, without any way of decrypting what that means, you're kind of up the creek. What the internet gives you now is detailed information on those, and in a lot of cases, you can use that. You can look up that number and your vehicle and find out what it really is or what the part is that's causing that.
Right.
There's a lot of very vehicle-specific ones too that a standard scan tool won't tell you. That again, the internet will show you what those specific ones are for your specific vehicle, and get a better idea of what you're in for.
Mm-hmm. Number 5 is recall, safety, and technical service bulletins.
Right. And these days, we've been seeing a lot of recalls, and there's a lot of confusion on who's involved and what vehicles are affected and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you're having a problem with your car, dealers usually have lists of technical service bulletins that you can look up online, along with recalls. You can always find recalls online.
Yep. The Department of Transportation Safety also has an online database of all the recalls available, so you can put in your year, make, and model and see what kind of issues you may have missed, or reason to get the vehicle taken to the dealer for repairs.
And one of the cool things with technical service bulletins is if you can find a problem that does have a technical service bulletin put out by a dealer, then you can usually find out what the easy way to repair it is, because it's sort of like a guideline of like, okay, step 1, do this, step 2, diagnose it, and then how to do the repair, what parts you'll need, and how to get the job done. It's really helpful.
Or you may even be lucky enough that the issue you're having is covered under warranty or under that service bulletin at no cost to you.
Very true.
I know I had an issue with a steering rack on one of my cars that was 10 years old at the time, and would have probably set me back about $500, but because I found the service bulletin and they had said they were covered, I got to get that job taken care of at no cost to me, other than dropping off the car and picking it up. Yeah,
very true. The same thing happened to me with some early 1990s Mitsubishi transfer cases, where the rear seal on them leaked and cracked, and the transfer case would lock up when it ran out of fluid, and it became a safety issue. So it turned out it was fully covered, even though the car is now 25 years old or whatever.
Yeah, the safety stuff they'll usually cover, because nobody wants that kind of lawsuit. I couldn't turn left. I mean, that was a big safety issue.
Yeah, and you don't want your transfer case locking up at highway speeds either. No. That'll cause a bad day. Number 6 on the list is wider variety of new parts available.
Right.
So
before the internet, you were kind of limited to the parts, the brands, and the stock that was at your local parts store. If you're lucky enough to have more than one store in the area, you could kind of shop. You'd go to one store, check to see what they have, write down prices, get part numbers, see if they had them there, go to the next place, and then compare that way. Now you're kind of, the world's your oyster. You can see all the different brands that make the part for your vehicle, all the different qualities, what makes them different, what makes them better. If you want a stock style, or if you want to actually go to an upgraded part, something beefier or more adjustable, or
there's endless amounts of information on the internet that you can compare all these new cars or new parts with.
Right. You're not just limited to what your parts guy tells you or your buddy from down the road tells you.
Right. Number 7, used parts. There's incredible amounts of used parts available on the internet. Back to the forum topic, people part out their cars constantly. They'll build up a big, beautiful car, and then they'll say, I don't want it anymore, and they can't sell it as a whole for a big price, so they break the whole thing apart into 1,000 pieces, sell all the parts from it, and you benefit.
Right, yeah. If you want to change your seats around, you want to upgrade some of your suspension, it doesn't always have to be new parts. There's plenty of parts on your vehicle that used are great, or that's the only way you can get them.
Right. Plus there's Craigslist, there's eBay, there's a few different websites where you can actually browse junkyards, what inventory they have.
Right.
So there's an endless amount of used parts out there that you can get at some really great deals if you shop around.
Number 8, be comparison shopping. Whether you're
Yeah.
looking for parts or you're looking for cars, you can you have a level playing field on information. Plenty when looking for a new car, you can check around at pricing, at options, features. When looking for parts, again, you can see customer reviews on certain brands, on certain models. Whatever you're looking for upgrades or for stock, like is it worth that big difference in price, or is that just somebody selling a name?
Yeah, absolutely. Number 9 is if you go local, you can have the order waiting for you.
Yeah.
So at a local auto parts store, you can sometimes buy everything you need online,
Yep.
and then go to the store and pick it up within a matter of minutes, rather than waiting for somebody to look up all the parts for you.
Right, and you don't have to worry about the counter person not asking you all the right questions or not offering all the different brands they have available. You can
Yep.
you can pick out what you need, what you want, and they'll have it ready to go by the time you get there.
Right, and sometimes they even add discounts to like buy it online and pick it up in the store.
Right.
So sometimes you can end up saving some cash.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 10 on the list is Google image searches. I absolutely use this at incredible rates.
Same here. We use it quite a bit for research, for issues.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is whenever I'm buying another car or just doing some research for somebody else, I like to hop on Google search or Google image search and say 2005 F-150 4-inch lift kit and 35-inch tires, and you get to see all these different images of 35-inch tires on lifted F-150 or whatever your search is, and you can kind of gauge what my truck would look like with those upgrades.
Yeah. Or if you're doing a repair for something as dreadful as electronics,
Yes.
going through and getting wiring diagrams
Yes,
and pinouts for
definitely.
connectors, where wires are run in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier for tracing down problems, figuring out if you're repinning something, what goes where.
Yeah. Yeah, and like if you ever if you're ambitious enough to buy a shell of a car and pretty much put the car back together again after it's been parted out for years, these type of pictures are super valuable because you can figure out where all these nuts and bolts go.
Where does this bracket come from?
What the heck this bracket is, exactly. I have boxes of brackets that I still don't know where they go to, but these image searches could help me.
Trim pieces, all the little oddball stuff that you're not thinking of when you're seeing the whole car together.
Right.
But when you're starting off with a shell, like it's nice to be able to figure out where that kind of stuff goes, or
Yes.
or even hidden fasteners, stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. So Google image searches. Search your car because you will find some great stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a bonus one for today. We said we'd come up with 10, but we actually came up with 11.
We want to have a little bit extra to throw at.
Yeah, I mean, why not give you a bonus today? So number 11 is live help from like-minded individuals.
Right.
So there are plenty of companies out there and just people that are willing to help you.
Yep.
Um,
We have a live chat during our normal hours where people call it, will log in and send us messages about questions on parts that we have, issues they're having, how to do repairs, and you get a near instant response.
Yeah, and back on the topic of like Facebook groups, I have plenty of people in these Facebook groups that I'm in that message me and they ask me questions that I may know the answer to, and I do the same with them. And it's instant communication. If I'm underneath a car,
Yep.
I don't even have to get out from under the car, and I can ask people questions that may know the answer. So it's incredibly helpful to have that live help.
Right.
And it could be 9 or 10 o'clock, and if they don't answer their message, not a big deal. But if they do, you may be able to get your car fixed, late at night or whatnot. So live help is incredibly useful on the internet. So that wraps up episode 14 for today. And I hope you found these 10 reasons that the internet is helping you fix your car helpful.
Or if you found some other ones that we didn't mention, let us know.
Yep. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Be sure to share the video because that is very much appreciated.
Right.
And I guess we'll see you next time. Thanks.